Good evening, visitors, and welcome to the Australian War Memorial's last post ceremony. My name is Jared Pratt. This evening, we warmly welcome the family of Flight Lieutenant Rex Victor Skinner. His story will be told shortly by Wing Commander Jeremy Feldenham from the Royal Australian Air Force, who is the great-nephew of Flight Lieutenant Skinner. This evening, we're honoured to acknowledge Air Marshal Robert Chipman, incoming Vice Chief of the Defence Force, and Mrs Alice Chipman, Air Commodore Peter Robinson, Commander Air Combat Group, and Mrs Jen Robinson, and the accompanying delegation here in Canberra to reflect on the more than 2 decades of successful operations of the Royal Australian Air Force Air Combat Group. We would also like to acknowledge the former Chiefs of Air Force and other senior Air Force personnel in the delegation who have led or held leadership roles within the group. Thank you for your service and contribution to the Australian Defence Force. We're also honoured to acknowledge Group Captain Matt Cottrell, retired, representing the Air Force Association. As always, we welcome the veterans who have served, those who are still serving, and the families who love and support them. The live stream of this ceremony is made possible by the Returned and Services League of Australia and the RSL and Services Clubs Association. We welcome members who are watching the broadcast of this ceremony from across Australia. During this evening's ceremony, wreaths will be laid at the base of the pool of reflection by family and visitors to the memorial. If able, please stand and join in singing the National Anthem.
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are one and free. With golden soil and wealth for toil, our home is got by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains, then let us sing, advance Australia fair.
If able, please be seated. The Australian War Memorial was the vision of Charles Bean, Australia's First World War official historian. Bean landed with the Australian troops on Gallipoli and stayed with them at the front through until the end of the war. The idea of this national memorial and museum came to him at Pozières, France, in the depths of the bloody fighting of 1916. Bean's idea was that this would be a place where families and friends could mourn loved ones buried in faraway places. It would also be a place that could help all Australians understand what these men and women had endured and what they had done for us. Bean's vision, to which we remain true, is best expressed as inscribed in the entrance to the memorial's galleries. Here is their spirit, in the heart of the land they loved, and here we guard the record which they themselves made. Tonight, we will read the story behind just one of those on the Roll of Honour, which lists the names of more than 103,000 men and women who have given their lives for us in war and on operations for more than a century. But first, we present a lament, Flowers of the Forest. Wreaths or floral tributes will now be laid at the base of the pool of reflection.
Today we remember and pay tribute to Flight Lieutenant Rex Victor Skinner. Rex Skinner was born on the 12th of September 1918 at Broken Hill, New South Wales. He was the only son of Philip Skinner, a bootmaker, and his wife, Elsie. Rex grew up around Adelaide and received his education at Salisbury Public School and later at Adelaide High School. On completion, he began working as a shipping clerk for a wheat exporter. Rex was involved in his local community and served in the local militia. He was also a member of the Port Lincoln Aero Club, where he developed an interest in flying. Rex enlisted in the Royal Australian Air Force Reserve on the 17th of April 1940. He was soon accepted for pilot training and joined the Royal Australian Air Force in the July. He undertook his initial training in Somers, Victoria, before travelling to Parafield for elementary training. In late 1940, Skinner continued his training in Wagga Wagga and Bradfield Park before embarking for training in Canada on the 22nd of February 1941. In Edmonton, Alberta, he began training to become an air observer. Skinner was awarded an Air Observer's Badge in August of 1941 and embarked for England the following month. As part of the Empire Air Training Scheme, he was one of almost 27,500 RAF pilots, navigators, wireless operators, air gunners, and flight engineers who joined squadrons based in Britain throughout the course of the war. In England, Skinner began training at the Royal Air Force Base at Pershore, where he learned to fly Wellington bombers. In March of 1942, he joined No. 70 Squadron and was transferred to the Middle East. There he flew during the Battle of El Alamein before joining No. 37 Squadron, another Wellington unit based in the Middle East. He served with 37 Squadron in Malta, Libya, and Egypt, attacking enemy supply lines as well as vital ports, including those at Tripoli and Tobruk. As the Allies advanced during 1943, the squadron was based in Tunisia and then Foggia in southern Italy. Skinner remained with this squadron until late in 1944, when he returned to Australia. Back in Adelaide, he married his sweetheart, Lorna McDougall, at St. Peter's Church in Glenelg on the 27th of September, 1944. In April of 1945, Skinner joined No. 24 Squadron, Royal Australian Air Force, and became involved in bombing raids against targets in the Netherlands East Indies. Based at Morotai, the squadron flew Liberator heavy bombers, which were notorious death traps, known among aircrew as flying coffins. These raids in the Pacific formed part of the Allied attempts to liberate Java, which had been in Japanese hands since 1942. Skinner's first major action with No. 24 Squadron came just 3 months into his new posting, during the Allied landings at Balikpapan in Borneo. Here, the squadron was responsible for covering the landings of more than 33,000 Allied troops, attempting to capture the port and secure the region's oil fields. Skinner was supporting these attacks on the 5th of July, 1945, when his aircraft was hit by fire from enemy anti-aircraft guns. His Liberator crashed into the side of a nearby hill. It was later located by Army patrols who were unable to recover the bodies. A letter was written in Malay, was attached to the wreckage, stating that there were no survivors. Just over a month later, Japanese forces surrendered and the war in the Pacific was over. The remains of Skinner and his crew were recovered after the war and buried at Labuan War Cemetery in Malaysia, where he lies today beneath the inscription, "In his supreme sacrifice we shelter, glorious memories forever." Flight Lieutenant Rex Skinner was 26 years old. His name is listed on the Roll of Honour to my left, among those 40,000 Australians who died while serving in the Second World War. His photograph is displayed today at the Pool of Reflection. This is but one of many stories of service and sacrifice told here at the Australian War Memorial. We now remember Flight Lieutenant Rex Skinner, who gave his life for us, for our freedoms, and in the hope of a better world.
If able, please stand for the reading of the ode and the sounding of the last post.
They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them.
We will remember them.
Lest we forget.
Lest we forget. We leave you this evening with the words of the memorial's founder, Charles Bean. Many a man lying out there at Pozieres, or in the low scrub at Gallipoli, with his poor, tired senses barely working through the fever of his brain, has thought in his last moments, well, it's over. But in Australia, they will be proud of this. Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, that concludes the last post ceremony. On behalf of the Director, staff and volunteers, thank you for visiting the Australian War Memorial today and for your continued support during the Memorial's development project. We wish you all a very pleasant evening. Thank you.